Let's see here. Auto guns. Weak ones. Hot shot last gun. Dodge reduction. So it hits easier. Okay, so it's more power. 9 to 11. Might not be too bad. Range 8 maximum 16. 40 ammo. You know what? We're gonna check if someone actually wants to use that. Like we do have this one. He is rocking a shotgun. Plasma. She has a flamer. This one might like that. Hotshot last gun. Why not? Try it out. I wanna check her ballistic skill. It's pretty high. Yeah, her ballistic skill is higher than her weapon skill. But her pistol... her pistol is so powerful. Will I ever use this is the question. Laser weapons are effective against targets in cover and targets with high dodge. There might be situations when we can use it. Your lordship, please, do not stray too close to the building. One of the terrorists from today's attack has holed himself up in there. He could be dangerous. What's going on here? Ready to report, your lordship. We conducted a sweep of the area after the attack. All of the assassins were arrested or neutralized except for one. He sealed himself inside. He already injured 2 wardens who tried to reach him. But there's no need to worry. We'll poison him and clear the last dregs of dirt from the estate. I have only one question, officer. Why have you not already done it? The rogue trader is here, and the longer you delay, the more you put his life needlessly at risk. It is inexcusable, your lordship. The barrels of poisons were only just delivered, but we're ready to begin now. One ash mag is up against all the wardens of this estate, yet he is still causing trouble on Efreet. We would have already been made captain and put in charge of the governor's security, for the exalted one knows that he has more brains than all of you combined. We will fix this right away, I swear on the throne. Are you going to poison the rebel? We're using insecticide? We're using insecticide from our stockpiles, your lordship. We don't have any military grade poison, but we don't need them. Not for this parasite. Who is he? To tell the truth, your lordship, I am more concerned with clearing the area right now than his identity. We're not expecting to get any valuable intel from him unless we find something on his corpse after we've done our job. What's so special about this building? It's one of the utility buildings. Fortunately, it was empty at the time of the attack. There were no potential hostages or innocent people inside. If you ask me, I think this was the first place the killer came to when he was beating his retreat. We managed to round up all the others, but this one holed himself up in there. This is not an empty utility building, but an inactive backup crypt for storing refrigerant and freezing equipment. This is obvious. Your ignorance is depressing, servant. Sorry. I want to talk to the person inside. Are you sure it's not safe, your lordship? You dare to question me? Out of my way. Forgive me, your lordship. Act as you see fit. Piss off. You won't take me alive. Better to put a bullet in my brain than let the governor's dogs get their hands on me. Let's see here. Coercion is 0. Awareness is 25. Strength. Let's use examine the door. We can do that. Oh, a success at 25%. That's good. The door looks solid and formidable, but you notice a dark marks on the hinges. A sure sign that the material is degraded. The lock doesn't look new either. With a suitable tool, it should be easy to open. So we're going to break down the door. 55%, here we go. Successful. A few powerful blows and the door flies open, revealing the way inside. Smack, dabble. Inside is poorly lit, but you spot a person standing in the far corner. He's desperately gripping a discharged lasgun in his hand. At the sight of you, his eyes widen in recognition and fear. It can't be. The rogue trader. Your lordship, have mercy. You are the sovereign. You are the sovereign of this planet. I can't pronounce the word. Only you have the power to save us. This is one of the elusive and cunning rebels of the governor's been fighting for months, really. Youth is a time of recklessness. I've heard that said more than once in the Schola Progenium and during my novitate. But youth is also a time of directness. Let us listen to this young man before we judge him. Save you from what? From the governor Viat. Everyone here knows what she's doing to us. We put up with it for a long time, hoping that somebody would intervene and help us, but nobody ever did. She's turned the whole world into a slaughterhouse. People are rounded up like rocks from the settlements, supposedly to go to the palace, and they've never seen again. Her servants pour something over the fields, and then people lose their minds. They start hearing voices and seeing evil spirits, and while we're dying, she's sitting behind her white walls and feasting on our bones. Sacrifice is madness, pain and death, even in so primitive as a society as this. Such rites seems senseless, not worthy of such efforts. What is this? A random quirk of nature or something darker? You're telling me people are seeing evil spirits? Yes. Others are going feral and attacking their loved ones. And then there's people say that in some settlements, well, they've stopped upholding the law altogether. Imperial law and the law of basic human decency. People are turning into animals. Who is behind the rebels? Your lordship, I beg you, don't ask me that. I can't sell out my brethren. It's over for me, but the others, I won't betray them. Let's see here. Let's try out one of these first. There will be no end to the war on this planet until I get a handle on the situation, but to do that I need to meet with your leader. Tell me or I will, we'll do the persuasion. And we succeeded. That was good. As long as you keep your word. I've never been in their camp, none of us have. Only the chief saw one person from their base. He came a few times, bringing weapons and orders. He said he represented a greater force that we could imagine. And he said that the governor's dogs will pay for their reprisals in the settlements. But that's not where they're hidden. They keep their distance from ordinary folks. We have it all worked out so that if anyone gets caught in the others aren't caught with them. But I swipe the chief's vox. I thought after I killed the governor I could use the message coordinates to find the base and hide out there. That's everything I know, your lordship. Rebel vox. So I got an item there. Let's see. The people waiting outside will put you through far worse torment than I will. Goodbye. The boy's body goes limp and drops to the floor.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Alright, so we got intel. Old servant. Hearing your footsteps, the elderly servant grabs an injector and stabs it into his arm. The area around the needle immediately starts turning black. You're too late, white dogs. I'm the master of my own fate. But when he gets a better look at you, the man drops the injector in astonishment and seems poised to prostrate himself on the floor before you. It's you, your lordship. The god emperor must have brought you here. I beg, help the rebels and save Janus. He doubles up, hugs himself, and is racked by coughing that leaves his lip wet with blood. Forgive me, your lordship. If only I'd known it was you, my eyes deceived me. We have little time now, but I swear I'll tell you everything. Nerve toxin. The inevitable cessation of vital functions is expected in no more than 60 seconds. Thrown damn you, old man. Where did you get this stuff? Poison capsules of this sort are a popular choice among desperate ashmags who are done with being tortured by mad fanatics or worse. Here on Janus, though, there's no antidote. Say whatever it is you want to say and be quick about it. In the name of the Golden Throne, your lordship, show mercy on the humble workers. The salt of Janus, save them. Vistenza Viat, the untouchable governor and leader of the nobility, is creating something monstrous behind closed doors. She uses the Imperium's interest as a smokescreen and purports to be a scholar, but her actions Her actions are poisoning our planet. Did you know that the settlements that fail to pay their due tithe on the time have been allowed to pay with people instead? They even delivered them to order. Sometimes old folks, sometimes children. He lowers his voice to a whisper and leans towards you. I have seen those people. I've seen them being delivered to the estate, and then they're never seen or heard of from again. Never seen or heard of from again. They get into the secret rooms and they don't come out again, your lordship, ever. The old servant lets out a moan. The dark strain on his arm seems to creep through the veins until his arm and neck are lattice work of black. The servant's breath quickens and becomes irregular. Sounds like sepsis. Let's see here. What secret rooms? You accuse the governor with only conjecture and rumor to back up your words. How dare you? What secret rooms? Hidden chambers deep within the palace. I've never been inside, thankfully. The servants who are allowed in, the ones the governor trusts, they change. She changes them, pities them up, defiles them. I see no shadows of deceit behind your words, and even so I would have noticed. I know I would have noticed the sign of which you, except whenever Vistenza hosts one of her dances at the palace, she sends me away to search for the rebels into the forest, far from human settlements. Okay, so there might be something going on then. You accuse the rogue traders appointed governor of heresy? If your words are false, they themselves are tantamount of heresy. But if what you say is true, if it's true, then your sacrifice will be to your credit, my good man. I swear I'm not lying. Pray for me, holy sister, for me and for Janus. I'm not sure I'll last long enough to answer all your questions. What else is going on the settlements? I'll tell you exactly what I was told by the people who contacted me. These fights. Some settlements have already switched to paying with people. They say that amendable settlements get special treatments from the governor's dogs. They arrange for medicine to be supplied to the settlements, then security. And then they completely isolate them. All contact between those inside the settlements and the outside world is cut off. One lad managed to get out. He is the one who told me all about this. That the people are rotting alive in there. Strange growths, yellow eyes, stinking like dead bodies. The worst looking ones are rounded up and taken away. The fellow who escaped, he seemed fine, but within a couple of days of the rebels picking him up, he started seeing monsters instead of people. They had to lock him up away from other folks. The poor sod. Then his wrists. The old man starts to convulse, indicating that he is close to death. He raises his already unseeing eye to you. Your lordship, if you'll permit a dying man to make one last request, don't tell anyone that I was the one who unlocked the doors. If you do, they'll go after my family, my home. Okay, so I would like to investigate it, because I wanna know if the leader of the planet I'm governing, if the governor of the planet I'm in charge of is the problem. No, I have not asked all my questions. Please, save us, save Janus. The servant rasps violently and collapses on his side, racked with convulsions. His lordship Svinto von Valancius, rogue trader by the grace of God Emperor, and the sacred lords of Terra. Rogue trader, bearer of the warrant of trade, stellar inheritor and guardian of humanity comes. Oh, it's my servo skull.
The divine watches over us.
Okay, so we got loot here, and then I can't see the other stuff. So this was back to the ship, to the maintenance room. Oh, this then that means that this is. Who's this? I haven't talked to that guy. Have I?
My faith is my shield.
What happened? What's this? Finish the job.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
There he is, maybe. Attilius Quint. The stooped man, wearing a cloak of the Adeptus Administratum, is reviewing information on a data slate, while he's quietly whirring mechanical arms fill a long scroll with writing. Upon noticing you, the man stretches his thin lips into a smile and deferentially bows. The light in his eyes of the servo skull hovering over his right shoulder genuinely pulsates. Your lordship, what an honor it is to address you in person. Allow me to introduce myself. Attilius Quint, Prefectus of the Officio Agriculture. I will preserve the record of our conversation forever. I uncovered the servant who betrayed the governor. Here is the place where you will find his body. What wonderful news! We will conduct the identification without delay, and punitive measures will be taken against the criminal's close associates. We will instill those weak minds with due terror to the governor's power warrants. What a sage decision, Serene. Let the rebels' innocent children and relatives rot in a rack as a lesson to all heretics. I swear to the Exalted One, your name will be fondly remembered on Janus. Let's see here. What record of our conversation? Your lordship, I'm painstakingly record every conversation with high-ranking personages. as afterward I will fill out all 7 accompanying forms personally. Your words and judgments are in good hands. Laudable foresight. I thank you. Moments such as the appearance of a rogue trader must be preserved for posterity. Let's see. What do you think of Vistenza Vayat? The governor is a superb leader. She possesses an excellent grasp of all matters and never uses an incorrect form for a given situation. I do not pry into her personal affairs, but if I may speak plainly, a lady who fills out paperwork with such finesse cannot be a bad person in my view. What do you have to say about the governor's helper, Irliet? A highly exceptional individual. After today's regretful event, I'm beginning to hold her talents to a particular esteem. Verily, even mutants who have seen the light of the God Emperor can faithfully serve his flock. Moreover, Irliet's particular abilities could be an interesting subject to study for the Magos biologists. That elongated head shape, those eyes, judging from the skull that was given to me to send on to footfall. Such developmental anomalies on Janus are not a quirk of nature, but some kind of inheritable trait. What did you say? Oh, madame, have my words upset you? I'm certain your kinsman would be delighted to learn that people wish to make a pretty pressy papier out of his remains. And besides, I could be wrong about the nature of his origins. What skull are you talking about? A most remarkable item, I must say. A true anomaly. A true anomaly. One moment. Holy crap. Let's see here. Here it is. I believe the finished piece was intended to be given as a gift to the governor, but under the current circumstances, I doubt I will be able to send it to Footfall anytime soon. Irliet stares at the skull in silence. You can see her jaw working under her delicate skin. After a few seconds, she abruptly turns away. Pascal's mechadendrites reach toward Attilius with interest, seeming to unnerve him a little. Adequately preserved. It is a pity that it is empty inside. It could have become a proper servo skull herald for the rogue trader. Unorthodox. A curiosity like this look very nice on my desk. I mean, yes, of course, undoubtedly. Whatever you wish, your lordship. If that will raise your spirits after the recent incident. Strange skull received. Irliet grits her teeth and burns you with a look of utter disdain. What are your duties here? By the grace of the God Emperor, I oversee the administrative apparatus on the planet and serve as a secretary. I'm also responsible for the logistic related to supplying the planets of the von Valancius dynasty and the timely payment of tithes. to the Imperium's official collectors. Speaking of the von Valancium dynasty, when were the last shipments sent? Oh, your lordship, our supply shipment are all in order. All foodstuffs of other items are ready for export and are simply awaiting the arrival of the transport ships. However, given the current circumstances on the planet, Janus could not provide even one tranche more than what is already prepared. I am certain the situation will be rectified in the near future. When did the collector ships last come to Janus? Oh, your lordship, I must confess that as yet I have not laid the pleasure of filling out the sacred fight protocol form. As the last Imperial ships to come here did so under my predecessor. Come to think of it, that would have been several decades ago. I do hope the logisticians responsible for such an unforgivable oversight lose their heads over this. That's enough. As you wish, lordship. Tell me about Janus and what is happening on the planet. Alas, your lordship, rebellions have caused us too many problems in recent times. The rebels are interfering with established processes, interrupting supplies, sabotaging the serfs' work. A few nobles have even been killed. And worst of all, some of the victims occupied important administrative posts. Until their replacements pass their checks, complete all their introduction forms, and go through the official appointment procedure, important paperwork is going unsigned. It's a bureaucratic catastrophe. If things continue in this vein, I dare not even imagine what it could lead to. There are worlds that are ravaged by war for generations. Generations, your lordship. Like that deranged planet of the nameless star, so close to our own peaceful system. The inhabitants there supposedly live under the patronage of the word trader Winterscale. I shudder to think what he has created there. I want to know the details. Where have the rebels struck and how? Of course. I would be delighted to furnish you with all the information I have. In the last few months, 15 organized attacks and 7 terrorists have been perpetrated. Irrigation equipment has been sabotaged in agrarian sector 3 to 5. Transport routes 27413. And also, I suppose this will not tell you much, please. With a fussy gesture, he presses several buttons on his status screen, and a 3-dimensional map with coordinates of the attacks appear on your cogitator. You cast a practiced eye over the intelligence provided to you and instantly get a grasp of the situation. The data is superbly collated, and the map clearly displays the actions of the rebels. At first glance, there seems to be no logic to their campaign, but after analyzing the data and the features of the terrain, you notice a clear system indicating a geographical pattern on their attacks. Who is directing the rebels? Does anybody know? Anyone? The rebels are well armed and well trained. What's more, the governor advisors are inclined to think that the investigators and the rebellions are very familiar with the planet's terrain and climate. My ordinates are going through registration records day and night, looking for individuals who have completed military training. But we have so far been unable to identify the What are you going to combat? What are you doing to combat these rebels? Our security services are tracking those who support the rebels, and our regular wardens are wiping out these saboteurs without the slightest mercy. But they keep on appearing. My scribes have turned off their feet, keeping records of all the public hearings and executions. But I am confident that the governor will find a solution soon. That is enough for now. Of course, your lordship. What do you know about the attack on the estate? A disgraceful incident, simply disgraceful. I cannot believe these scoundrels would dare to come so close and to drag the nobility into this as well. If they penetrated the estate, that means they had help from some worthless servant or other. Security is currently questioning the survivors, but the culprit has not been found yet. I must take my leave. I look forward to meeting you again, your lordship.